What's up? Hey SLJ, hey Nathan. Ooh, can you guys hear me? I never checked that first. Okay, you can. So they reached a deal, Nathan? Let's see. Let me Google this. Okay, glad you guys can hear me. Okay, so Hollywood heaves a sigh of relief. The WGA and major studios and streamers have reached a tentative agreement on a new 3-year contract that promises to end the 146-day strike that has taken a heavy toll across the content industry. Negotiators for the Writers Guild of America and Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers reached the final line Sunday after 5 consecutive days of negotiations. Day 4 on Saturday mostly involved lawyers for the Guild and AMPTP hashing out the fine print of language around complicated and groundbreaking additions to the WGA's minimum basic agreement. The nitty-gritty details of language around the use of generative AI in the content production was one of the last items that the sides worked on before closing the pact. We can say with great pride that this deal is exceptional with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership. The WGA's negotiating committee wrote in an email to send to members at 7 p.m. Pacific time. The strike itself will still be in force through the Guild's contract approval and ratification process, but picketing has been suspended as of Sunday night. Guild leaders are expected to vote on Tuesday on whether to formally lift the strike order against the AMPTP signatories. Well, dang. Sorry, I'll still read the end. Oh, this is a long article. But obviously it's good news. I'm sorry, my allergies are bothering me a little bit, but I just took a pill, so it should kick in a few minutes. What do you mean, oh no? The strike is over. Almost. And hey, Freddie. So yeah, that's good news. I'm not going to read this whole article, but long story short, they've reached an agreement. Oh, yeah, for GH it's kind of bad. You're right, Kaiwan. You're right. But, I mean, on the plus side, it'll be like at least a month before we see their stuff again. But I am glad for writers all over the industry that they've reached some kind of, agreement of sorts. Nathan, you said the Writers Guild had made the request that their members not return to work until SAG-AFTRA also has a new agreement. Okay, so we're not going to see our writers back anytime soon. So, great news for GH fans, at least. How sad is it that the scab writers have been doing a better job with our show than the real writers? It's sad days indeed. But hey, everyone. Sorry, we just got right into it right there. Hey, Brooklyn. But yeah, I'm finally live streaming on a Sunday for the first time in weeks. I'm glad to be here. I've got all my notes set up. It's been an okay week on GH. But yeah, welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH after show, you guys. Glad to see you're all here and with me. Kaiwan, you said the Scab Writers listen to us more. I feel they at least watch us. Man, you think the writers watch me and Albert and DC and all the guys, James? It would be cool if they did, but at the same time, our viewerships, all three of us, we all have our followings, of course, but We are but a small sort of we're a small set of GH fans, and there are thousands upon thousands more that don't watch our after shows and just watch GH itself. There's fan bases on Twitter, all over message boards, and I would hope that they watch everywhere, so to speak. Maybe less so Twitter. I hear it's crazy on there. That is why I myself am not on Twitter. But yeah, welcome to the show, you guys. We got a few things to talk about. It wasn't like it wasn't the best week on GH, but it wasn't the worst either. Things are moving along. There's obviously been some reveals, if you've seen them in the thumbnail, obviously. That Charlotte, Freddie, you said that Charlotte is a demon playing with those tarot cards. I don't believe she's terrorizing Anna, but something not right with that girl. Hey Albert, your ears are burning. Nice to see y'all, and it's great to be back on Sundays again, guys. Not so much smoke in the air. Cold weather is upon my province for sure. I don't know what temperature it is now, but it's definitely under 15 degrees. It was actually a really nice day though. Like, it was really warm out today. Like non-jacket weather, like t-shirt weather. Twitter is the Wild West. True. But yeah, no, it is getting colder though. Like, there are places like in my province that have already had snow, just to put things in perspective. That's Alberta for you. But you have to remember that in Alberta there are a lot of Rocky Mountains, therefore, you know, climate calls for it. Oh, you got on Twitter? Listen, I've had how many years at this point to get on Twitter, and not once have I gotten on it. It's almost a time when in New York gets real cold. We don't get real cold this time of year, but we get colder, obviously. Like, the leaves are already, you know, yellow and red and all the different colors and falling off. Slowly but surely. But every year is a little bit different. Last year, fall kind of hung on for a while. More than usually. More than it usually does, sorry. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Sandy. The writers have reached a tentative agreement. However, the strike will be ongoing minus the picketing until, what did you say, Nathan? That the AFTRA reaches an agreement as well. So they haven't, which means that our scab writers are likely going to continue until that section reaches an agreement. So we'll see what happens after that. And who knows, they might get an agreement within the next couple days too, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH Chapter show. Obviously, Charlotte is going to be the first thing we talk about, because y'all know, if you've been watching me since like before I did this in live stream version, that I always call Charlotte a demon child. Always have, always will. Case in point, this week. Oh, hey Angel. But yeah, as you guys know, Anna has been having a rough go lately, being targeted by someone who appears to be hell-bent on making her life hell, from potentially trying to kill her at the Metro Court, to burning her house down and then trashing her suite at the Metro Court. While Anna was secretly suspecting that Valentine had a hand in the first two things, potentially being forced to by pikemen, this time Valentine was with her at dinner when it had gone down, and Valentine was just as scared as Anna was. Turns out he had a pretty good reason to be, so he gets Nina to look over the camera footage from outside Anna's place, and lo and behold, it's his demon child, Charlotte! Charlotte gotta be a red herring. I think the most frustrating thing about this is the reveal happened on Monday, but he has not even decided to confront her on it yet, nor has he told Anna who was responsible to put her mind at ease. That said, I don't think that Charlotte burned Anna's house down. That's a little too insane, even for the demon child. She does seem to have a new obsession with tarot cards, though, and I'm on the edge because the last time tarot cards were a thing on the show was when Victor was trying to control Drew with them, the same way Peter controlled Dante with them. Sometimes I don't mind when GH gets a little sci-fi and supernatural and weird, but this time isn't one of them. I need these tarot cards to, like, leave. Like, just leave them wherever they were, for the love of God. But Angel, you were saying that she could be a red herring. I don't know. I think obviously there's a bit of potential with it. We didn't see her going, like, we've seen her go inside the room. We didn't see what happened when she was in there. However, I think that she did the room sabotage. I don't think that she did the other stuff, though. You know what I mean? Like, she's not capable of burning down a house. And we know that it was a guy that was in that house. Okay, so we know that wasn't her. But I do think Charlotte did this, and that Anna and Valentine are jumping to the conclusion, well, at least Valentine is, that she's done maybe some of the other stuff. I mean, obviously not the shootout, but maybe the house burning down thing. Hard to say, though. Hard to say. Being around Nina and Valentine, poor girl had to be a demon child. I think the real culprit is either Cassandra Pierce or Anna's evil twin sister Alex. See, Alex was my first guess when this stuff started happening, because it kind of makes sense. We didn't see her actually die. And if Alex is as resourceful as Anna, then she probably got out of that water just fine. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. Obviously, this story could go anywhere at this point. And I'm not necessarily full on that Charlotte isn't a red herring. Like, you guys could be right about that. But I just think because the vandalism is so petty, it seems childlike, like what happened in Anna's room, that I'm inclined to believe that it could be her. But I don't know what this tarot card thing is about, and I don't really want to know. But we'll see what happens. I'm sure, hopefully, for the love of God, hopefully Valentine confronts her and asks what she was doing in that room. Oh, you like how Nina's in all these different storylines? I don't, but it is what it is. Alright. Okay, let's move on and talk about Sprina, y'all. Because it feels like for the whole summer we haven't really been able to, because they've been keeping them apart. But now they're kind of getting back into the swings of things, Sprina. So, like I said, it was a fairly Sprina-less summer, with Spencer having to keep his distance between not wanting to be, to bring extra stress to Portia, and doing as she wishes, to spending almost all of his time with Esme and Ace. And personally, and you guys already know this, I truly believe in my hearts of hearts, that it was probably because, obviously, Nicholas was on his way out of GH, and he was supposed to shoot the primetime series. But obviously with the strike, that didn't happen. So I think they had to backtrack a little bit and get them back on track, because they were probably utilizing Esme and keeping the distance to usher him out in a way that doesn't really, make it all that bad. They finally going to do it. Yep. Freddie said, I wouldn't mind if the scab writers become permanent. Neither would I. They're doing a good job, but I don't think Frank's going to do that to his writing team, sadly. Though he should. Portia doesn't want her daughters to get her cheeks slapped. But yeah, basically, Spencer and Trina, they're planning a trip out to Manhattan. The perfect getaway for them. That's what I'm hoping, at least. But I can't help but think, something's going to happen. Like, I'm so scared that Esme is either going to give into her impulses and show up to Manhattan, or that Portia's going to pull something to prevent them from even going. Well, you can't blame me. Like, every time there's like a start with Sprina, the brakes get put on for whatever reason, whether it's behind the scenes or otherwise. Trina told Curtis about the trip, and he seems mostly okay with it, even though she opened up to him about potentially being in love with him, but having never said it, nor has Spencer. So I think Curtis might feel some type of way, because he made the effort to track Portia down to tell her, because he figured Trina hadn't told her about the trip yet. And she did everything in her power from exploding as she thought that he would, or as Curtis thought that she would. Portia ain't shit. Portia and Esme are going to say Ace is sick. Now, as for Esme, speaking of which, she knows the trip is happening, and she also realizes that Spencer doesn't trust her nearly as much as she thought he did. That said, I actually don't believe that Esme is devious anymore. I think that she clearly is developing feelings for Spencer. I mean, how can she not? He's a hot dude, and he's really good with her kid. And I think that she also knows that even if she has thoughts of wanting to split Sprina apart, she knows that the second she does anything out of line, everyone's going to accuse her of having her memories back and try to get her ass thrown in jail again. So I think while she might have those like thoughts of like, I should break them up, I think that she's gonna proceed on the air of caution, just to like, or err on the side of caution, just to, you know, try to do her best to mind her business and try to raise her kid. She did open up to Gregory on how she feels, knowing that people still think that she might be the old Esme, and he told her to focus on the short term and find a reason to smile, something he no doubt is learning himself given his ALS diagnosis. We'll talk about that in a second as well. Esme also stopped by the hospital and ran into Portia, who was still being incredibly nice to her. And I hate that I actually feel sorry for Esme in this situation, because I think Portia is really just leading her into like a false sense of security in the hopes that she can use something Esme tells her to break up Trina and Spencer. And I think she'll let Esme take the fall for whatever that ends up being. What are y'all saying? I think Portia is going to make sure that Esme gets that sheep's class? What? But yeah, I think that Portia is definitely going to use Esme to break up Spencer, even though Esme, to her credit, is being very, you know, very reserved. Yeah, she's like got a little hint of jealousy there, but I think, as Avery mentioned in that interview she did a few days ago, I don't think she's realized that about her crush on Spencer just yet. And if she's saying that, I'm inclined to believe her take on it. Memory, no memory, she's still no good. I'm saying that she has the tendencies like to think those thoughts, but I think she's smart enough not to do it. That's my point that I'm trying to make, sorry. Like, she definitely has, you know, those thoughts of like, I should do this, but she also has the tact not to do it, because she's somehow got a conscience in this like memory lapse thing. So I said the scab writers were writing the dialogue for the regular writer's story outline. Doesn't that mean that they aren't actually coming up with their own stories? But they're not. But what they're doing is they are carrying the story in a way that the writers that we usually have wouldn't. I think that they're focusing on things that I prefer within the storylines, because obviously they outline stories within a year, you know, like they know the points that they want to get to, but it's how they get to the points that kind of makes a big difference. And like the things that we see and the things that they are focusing on may not be the things that we would have seen or would have focused on if we had the writing team of ours. Rotten to the core. They're trying to make her, oh, like Nell Benson. we'll see. Esme still flew past the cuckoo nest. She got like, that crazy look in her eye. Sandy said, I love the new writers. But yeah, it's the dialogue that's changed. It's the storylines are still very much the writing team that is a regular on GH. It's just that the way that they get to each point is different. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And that can really make the difference because there's been a lot of times over the years where I'm like, on paper, this is a great idea for them to do, but the follow through is always lacking in some way. And I think that the scab writers are doing a better job in their follow through of how they get to these points. So far. Does anybody not want the writers to come back? Yeah, I don't. None of us do, I don't think. I don't think I've seen anyone be like, oh man, I miss the regular writers. I don't think I've seen that on a single message board or anything. Certainly haven't seen it in this chat. But yeah, anyway, meanwhile, Spencer is literally doing whatever he can to make her happy. Trina, I mean. Sprina, they've got these really cute scenes at Trina's dorm of him trying to convince her basically to drop everything so they can head out early to Manhattan. But Trina's trying to get this paper done so that she doesn't spend the whole weekend worrying about it. Which is very on brand for Trina. What I find jarring is like how Spencer's acting right now. Like he's acting like a total goofball with Trina. He's like extra chipper, extra goofy, everything extra. And I'm so used to Spencer being somewhat reserved, even around Trina. Like he's got a sense of humor with her, but he's always like a bit, you know, he keeps the classy, rich vibe to him. But yeah, like I'm worried because he's so extra happy and Trina's happy and we've been here before. I want this couple to stay that way for like at least a minute, you know? And I want to see their Manhattan getaway happen on screen. I don't anticipate they're going to go on location to Manhattan or anything, let's be real. But I just want to see them having like some like romantic fun times, that's all. Sprina scenes on Friday was cute. I would have stayed off of Joss's bed though. Yeah, that would have been a great idea. They are closing some of the 9-9 storylines? What do you mean the 9-9 storylines? Even though they need to address Bobby, it's getting weird. Yeah. I mean, it's a choice to not have it done, but at the same time, like, there have been times where Bobby has been off screen for years. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I mean, personally, I think that the scab writers would probably do a great job with it. But I think that Frank Valentini wants to use his writers to tell the story in the best way that he thinks that he can. I have no idea why. but it is what it is. And if they don't acknowledge it for a while, I'm okay with that. People are kind of mad because they haven't done like a little tiny montage to Billy Miller, but I don't see GH doing that, to be honest. Because he had such a short time on GH and it wasn't very good. Hey, DC, what's up? How you doing? Aw. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock here, so hope you're all doing well. The 99 storylines are the number one storylines. Okay. Yeah, good to see you. It's been a minute since I've live streamed on a Sunday, so I'm glad I'm actually doing it this week. But yeah, I'm worried about Sprina, y'all. I really don't want them to have like a bad time in Manhattan, and I don't want it to not happen. I'm worried Portia's gonna do or say something to make it not happen. All right, let's move on and talk about Gregory for a second. He still hasn't told Chase the truth about his ALS. His reason being when he had gone there to see Chase the other week, It was when Brooklyn was there and had just moved in and they were blissfully happy, so he didn't want to ruin that. But it is being made clear that his ALS is definitely progressing. Elizabeth had some concerns with his doctor and how he's handling Gregory, because he seems more focused on what's going to happen to him rather than how to manage the symptoms he'll face as they happen. And she shares that with Finn, and Finn in turn shares it with Gregory, and he agrees to be open to a new doctor, if only to have his son feel useful. I think he's just doing that to like make Finn feel like he's helping in some way. But the reality is his ALS is progressing, and it's getting more noticeable. He ran into Tracy at the hospital, and he had trouble opening up a pop can in front of her, and he confessed his diagnosis to her. And she actually had compassion for him and seemed genuinely shocked and devastated for him. For me, it's not surprising that Tracy had such a, that she had a heart for the situation. Because we've seen her character develop over many years, which is why the deception stuff and watching her blackmail her granddaughter has been a hard pill to swallow for me. Brooklyn's had a rough couple days, y'all. Like, Maxie fired her, telling her that there's nothing she can do to make it right, and then she denounced Tracy as her grandmother, which I'm actually really glad she did. I think because of Edward, Tracy's got this belief in her head that there aren't any lines that can't be crossed in the name of ELQ, even if it means blackmailing her granddaughter as a means to an end, which was to get Lucy's 1% back in Quartermain hands, which I still find a little bit ridiculous. Like, in my opinion, Tracy kind of gave up on ELQ being a factor in her life when she left Port Charles and ended up with Luke in Amsterdam. But with that said, I suppose it's possible now that Luke is dead that she's latched on to this project, which is frustrating. Chase is going to be so hurt. All these people know him before. Yeah, it's true. I think what's gonna end up happening inevitably is Tracy is gonna have no idea that Chase doesn't know, and she's gonna let it. She's gonna ask him about it, and then he's gonna confront Gregory, and it's gonna be drama. That's what I'm calling, and I hope it plays out that way, because that's actually really good drama. And Tracy wouldn't even be like doing it to cause the drama. She'd go there because she's, she feels bad, and it probably will give her an opportunity to go see Brooklyn. Actually, realistically, she's probably going to try to plead Brooklyn into giving her another chance, and Chase is going to be there, and that's when she's going to mention the ALS, in my opinion. I feel like that's how it'll play out. Esme still needs to pay for the crimes. Yeah, I do know that for sure. For sure. But they've dropped it until basically there's proof that she gets her memory back. Because they knew that if they tried her now, she might get away with it. Which makes sense to me. Portia knows she ain't shit, waiting to team up with the woman who made a sex tape of Cam and Joss and put it out to the world and framed Portia's daughter for it, and Trina almost went to jail for it. Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like Portia's hatred towards Spencer outweighs her hatred towards Esme, because Esme can be a means to an end for her. And I feel like Portia believes that Esme is not a threat currently. So to her, she's just something that she can use to split Spencer and Trina apart. Because realistically, Portia is a doctor, and all these doctors believe that she doesn't have her memories back, and I believe that she doesn't have her memories back. Avery Pohl has said that she doesn't believe that Esme's got her memories back as well. So that's how they're playing it for now. But yeah, it's with this ELQ stuff anyway. I think, like, it feels to me like all the other Quartermains at this point couldn't care less who runs ELQ. I really don't think that they care, because the majority of them gave their shares to Valentine anyway. And then, like, Ned is just Eddie Main at this point. He don't care. He's off living his life trying to be a singer again. And, like, there's Michael. But, like, he's too busy, like, worrying about Willow and focusing on his family to really care, as long as he still has a job there. So, I don't know. It's just silly to focus on ELQ at this point anymore. None of the family cares. It was Edward's, realistically, it was Edward's baby. Tracy always felt like she was owed it, but she got over that. So to fight for it at this point just seems silly. But still in honor of Edward, she's got to get the money to get ELQ. I don't know. One thing that I've always felt bad for Tracy about is that, like, and it's not going to paint Edward in the best light. He never gave a shit about Tracy. Never has. Even when he died, he left her nothing. Right? He didn't leave her a damn thing in his will. Except for, like, Pickle Lila. Like, so, and she squandered that, obviously. That didn't work out for her. So, why she's still trying to honor him at this point is beyond me. He was a garbage dad to her. Not that she didn't give what she got, okay? But, like, Edward never cared for Tracy. I feel like he only put up with her because of Lila. Michael and Drew are the only ones who care. Yeah, and just barely. Like, Drew has his own company to run as well. Spencer and Trina's happily ever after won't last long, especially with Portia and Esme being in the way. I just need their happily ever after to at least last until the end of this Manhattan trip. I just want one good, like, slew of scenes of them being happy in Manhattan and having their first time and having this really special whatever. Let them have their first time, for God's sakes. That's how I feel. Oh, man. But anyway, Brooklyn, she is going to focus on her music again, just like her non-dad, Eddie Main, is. She's apparently trying to get Blaze as her singer, which I feel nothing for. Let's be real. Blaze, she certainly looks the part, and she's got an okay voice. It's just, they make her out to be the sensation, and it's not any more believable to me than Chase being a sensational singer either. Like, they're both just okay and really good looking. We haven't seen Brooklyn meet up with Blaze yet. I think that happens tomorrow. But for whatever reason, they brought her in yet on Friday's episode, and they just had her talking to Christina the whole time about, like, singing. Christina's, like, a big fan apparently, and then they talk about how Christina sang at the nurses' ball, and they really just phoned in on that, like, oh, why aren't you a singer, blah blah blah. And I'm like, why are we getting these scenes? There was no point, none, for Christina and Blaze to interact. None. Unless they're going to do another career change for Christina yet again, and I hope to God that they don't. That girl is all over the place, I swear to God. What are y'all saying? Oh, Brooklyn, you said, I'm so looking forward for my favorite girl, Rena Silver, aka Lois's return, especially now for Brooklyn. Me too. I cannot wait. Like, I'm just thinking of all the possibilities. We don't know, I don't know at least, how long her stay is. It could just be like a couple of episodes for all I know. But, like, if Brooklyn's trying to get back into, like, the music business, I say they reinvent or revive L&B Records. And instead of Lois and Brenda, it can be Lois and Brooklyn. And then Lois can find some real artists to get on her frickin', management. Sick of this pathetic Eddie Main storyline. I'm holding out till Lois gets here. Speaking of Eddie Main, since we're bringing him up, like, I can't remember whether this happened this past week or the week before, but Marshall challenged Eddie to finish the song that he recorded halfway in that studio, so he can perform it at the Savoy. But basically, he said, if you finish the song, I'll let you perform at the Savoy. But Eddie's not hopeful that he'll finish it. I'm pretty sure that whenever he does complete it, it's going to be the thing that helps him catapult his memory back. He keeps alluding to, both in the song and in real life, that something is just out of reach to him, and either Olivia or Lois are going to be the key to help him complete that song and get his memories back. Likely, it'll probably be Lois. And maybe Olivia will feel some type of way about that, which might cause some conflict. I don't think, obviously, they're not going to put Ned and Lois back together. That's a given. That would be too awkward for the actors involved. But I think that she will be the key to that, gets him his memories back. And then they can bring the Nina stuff on. Also, Marshall is trying to get Eddie to perform because of how dead the Savoy has been recently, which Selena has been gloating about. And honestly, I have a feeling that she's the reason for it. I mean, I have no like proof of that, but like the fact that she knows about it in the first place and she's gloating when she wants this club so desperately doesn't make sense to me. Because her getting the club ain't gonna really like up the following. You know what I mean? She just uses that club to have her back card games. Just in time for November sweeps. Yeah. I'm good, Jakarius. How are you? Good to see ya. But yeah, basically, Marshall is betting success on a man who doesn't know who he is performing at the club. So I feel like the Savoy is going to be dead in the water unless they sell it to somebody. Or Selena's going to do something shady and try to get it out from underneath him regardless. Let's talk about Drew. Let's change the subject and talk about Drew. Actually, no. Before we get into Drew, let's talk about Molly and TJ, because there's not really much to say anyway. Except that their surrogate is pregnant. And she told Molly, who is with Alexis, so Alexis and Molly both know. Alexis is planning on telling Christina and Sam, as like a way to try to get them talking again, hopefully. And Molly's on her way to TJ, who apparently is starting to get really nervous about being a father. Which she confides to Jordan in, who we practically never see anymore. And my question to that is, where the hell is Zeke? Where is he? Where is this man? We need another sexy man back onto the canvas. And he needs to be in Jordan's bed. Fighting naked is scary. Yeah, let's talk about Drew now. So yeah, basically, a couple weeks ago, Sonny and Carly convinced Drew to try and figure out who Austin had gone to see in Pentonville, and while Drew did some fishing out in the open, Cyrus overheard him and flipped the guy he was going to get his information from. And then by the end of the week, Drew was beaten to a pulp in the shower. Like, to a pulp while he was naked. Like, just getting the shit kicked out of him, basically. And conveniently, Cyrus is the one that finds him, and he's so shocked. And of course, now Drew is on the way to the hospital because he's in bad shape. Carly had also gotten Diane to try to figure out if the judge that dealt with Drew's case had some biased reason to be extra hard on Drew, and after some conversations with Robert, it seems like he might, but of course proving it will be hard, especially because the feds are just gonna dangle Drew's freedom in her face in exchange for information on Sonny anyway, which we all know Carly isn't gonna do. So I think they're at an impasse until Drew gets out of there in some other way. Anyone in their right mind wouldn't tell anyone until their first trimester is over. Well, the thing is, though, yeah, like, I think the surrogate would technically have to tell Molly from the get-go. And Alexis happened to be there. And to Alexis's credit, she did say, like, this is, you know, like, just put it out there. Just because she's pregnant doesn't mean it'll keep. Not to be negative, but it's just a thing that happens in pregnancies often. But like, technically the surrogate would have to tell Molly right away. And of course they're going to go to their doctor to confirm it. But I also don't think that they're going to tell anyone beyond Christina and Sam anyway. I think they're going to keep it among themselves until, you know, further down the line when things are looking better. But I don't mind that, like, Molly, Alexis, and Christina and Sam know. Just because they, you know, they've been there on her surrogate journey from the get-go. Drew is useless as usual. True. The whole shower fighting scene gave you anxiety? Aw. That's your worst fear in the shower? Getting beaten to a pulp? I never showered publicly, so like, even if I'm going to a swimming pool, I will go home and shower after. Cause I don't bring like all like my own body wash like to like pools and stuff. I just like, you know, I'll like sort of wipe myself down with like whatever soap that they have there. But I'd rather take a real shower with my own shower stuff. And I'd rather not haul all my stuff to a pool. I know Jade's gonna pull Eastern Promises on us. At least they didn't show the naked part. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that either, Jacarius. Oh, it's a movie that came out in 2007. I've never seen it. Anyway, last big thing to talk about. Cody and Sasha. They need to find a way to prove that Sasha was drugged in order to be free from hiding out in this cabin in the woods scenario. Sam, she took it upon herself to go to GH and found Willow, who is apparently back at work. It's her first day back. And she shared what had been going on with Sasha and convinces her to look up Sasha's toxicology report from the day that she stabbed Cody to see what was in her system that day. When Willow finds it, she notices the drugs in her system and realizes what it could cause if those drugs are mixed, as in things like hallucinations that might make her seem manic and crazy, which is exactly what she was on that day. And she shows and explains to Sam what the toxicology report said and what it means, and she brought it to Dante. It's still a long way from proving what happened, but it's a start. I don't know what they're going to do with that after that, though. Showering in the dorms is scary, y'all. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Oh, man. But yeah, anyway, those are the biggest happenings on the show. But just to throw in some minor stuff that was in the mix, just like the little plots that didn't really move much storylines, but just to talk about it. Scott Baldwin was back on screen and hanging out with Lucy, Felicia, and Mac and Maxie. This is why I never take any time Ken Schreiner says he's no longer on the show to heart, because he always pops back in like 2 months later. He's like, yeah, I'm off the show, they don't want me there anymore, and then all of a sudden he's back. So it's just the same old with Ken. I think Ken like just likes to stir up drama a little bit and keep the producers on the show and hope that like the fans will like attack them for not showing Scott Baldwin enough. That's how I feel. What else happened though? Robert, he did a very nice thing and salvaged Anna's pictures digitally and gave the digital photos as a gift to Anna. It was nice seeing all those old photos in a montage and seeing Robin and Emma in those photos as well. Diane wasn't too pleased with him cutting their breakfast short to give his ex a gift though. Rest assured, Anna is not interested in Robert, okay? Like, it's been so platonic for so many years at this point. I would love to see Robert and Anna back together. But to me, I think Robert here and there has had feelings for Anna here and there, but I think he mostly just doesn't want her to be with scumbags like Valentine. You know what I mean? Also, Sunny gave props to Dex for being a good, informative boy. Sweet, like, I don't know what to say more about that. It just feels like Dex is starting to see Sunny like dad, and I'm not here for that. Why did they have Joss read The Other Black Girl? Trina should have been the one reading it. Speaking of which, there's a GH connection on The Other Black Girl, you guys. I don't know if you... I binged half the season so far, and I'm actually really liking the show. And the woman who played Irene Cassadine, Helena's daughter, is in that show. So there's a GH connection on there, you guys. And her character is very different, obviously. She's more comedic, but so far she's doing an okay job. She's not a major character in the show, but she's on there, and I was like, oh, that's neat. It took me a minute to realize who she was too, because me and my mom were watching it, and I was like, she looks so familiar to me. So I like looked up the cast, and I saw the actress's name, and I was like, that name sounds familiar to me. I know her from somewhere. So then I went to her IMDb, and I was scrolling through like anything that I could have seen her on. And lo and behold, General Hospital. So yeah. Is she the blonde woman? I don't remember the blonde. I'm really bad with characters' names from like shows that I'm just starting to watch. But she's the... So I'm assuming you've watched it, Kaiwan. She is the woman... she was... Yes, she is blonde, obviously. And she was... I don't want to give away spoilers, though. So, for those of you that don't know what the show is about, essentially, I'll give this... I'm not going to give away too much, but it takes place in like a publisher's sort of office. And the blonde girl and the woman who ran the publishing office are kind of rivals a little bit, but also working in the same company. And so that blonde girl is the rival of that woman. But yeah, she was that's the character that she plays. Like I said, minor role, not a big role, at least so far, and I'm halfway through. But the show itself, oh my god, it's so good. And it's like there's lots of mystery surrounding it, and it's really well told so far, and the actors that are all on it are really good. I thought about like binging the rest today, but I wanted to make sure that I got all my notes done, and like I had a productive day, y'all. I had things to do and I did them. But you're right, I don't know why they had Jocelyn reading that book. That was a bit weird. It should have been Trina. Olivia's gonna go full on Bensonhurst on Nina when she finds out her new co-owner lied to her and erased the security footage. Not only that, but when Ned discovered Nina's secret and Nina kept. Yeah. I hope Olivia goes Bensonhurst on her ass. This girl deserves it at this point, Nina. Why couldn't Jocelyn what? But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, they did the other girl promo because it's a show on Hulu and Disney Plus. I don't have Hulu, I have Disney Plus. And that's where I watched it. Actually, my mom and my grandmother were watching it when I came home from work. I don't remember how many... They were like into like the first episode, and then I kind of joined in like and just watched with them. And then they fell asleep and I kept watching. So, yeah, I'm hooked. But yeah. So you're enjoying it too? Yeah. I don't know what episode you're on. I'm on episode... Well, I think I'm on episode 6 now. But, don't tell me anything. It's a mystery that I haven't figured out. You know, obviously, it involves another black girl that's different from the main black girl. And just trying to figure out what her game is, you know what I mean? There are moments where I've been like, okay, she alright, she cool, she like vibing. She's ride or dying for, you know, the main girl. And there's moments I'm like, but is she though? And that's all I'll say on that, because this isn't, you know, the other black girl after show. That will you guys should, but I do recommend, if you guys have Hulu or Disney Plus, to watch that show because it's really good. Alright guys, but I think I am going to end the stream here. We will regroup Wednesday and check in with each other at that point and see how we are enjoying this week of GH so far. I don't know if we're going to react to anything, not going to lie. We shall see. We shall see. The trailer for the other black girl made me laugh. I was concerned as well. I didn't even see no trailer. I just knew, the only thing I didn't even know the show existed until the promo for it, or like the Jocelyn reading the book. And then someone mentioning on the message boards that it was a show on Hulu. And I was like, okay, product placement. Makes sense. And then my mom happened to be watching it. So then I joined in and watched. More Billy Miller? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was good enough to leave it at the GH stuff that I found. And, you know, I'm sure there are other people that have given him good tribute so far as well. And I anticipate YNR will do a good tribute to him. But yeah, anyway. If we react to anything, it'll be GH related for sure. But I'll think about it. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. I'm glad that I actually showed up for a Sunday and I'm not sick for once, because it's been brutal the last few weekends. But here I am. No more smoke so far. Knock on wood. I don't have any wood to knock on. Yeah, I do. But yeah, good night, everyone. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on Wednesday. Peace out. I keep on forgetting I can't just end the stream like that. Good night, y'all.